6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver, here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower, as well as a very rare visit from Luca the True Crime Dog, who insisted on being picked up, and now is probably regretting his life choices because he does not like to be on camera. Are you okay? Do you want to get down? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sandy's thrilled to be here. She has clearly missed you all because when it was showtime, man, she was ready to go.
Uh-huh. Well, Luca has just missed his mom. Every time I turn around, he's asking to be held again. There's been a lot of holding Luca since I got home.
Well, Sandy as well. Yes, she has been all over me.
Yeah. That's a long time for their mamas to go away.
It is. Yeah, all my kitties and my dogs have been all over me. Yep.
Yeah. So we flew in yesterday morning, and if you don't know, we've talked about this trip quite a bit, but we flew to Seattle, to SeaTac, to Tacoma, last Friday morning for a girls' trip adventure.
Seattle, SeaTac, Tacoma?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd get all the things. I just included all the things.
Threw it all in. Gotcha.
Yeah. So it was Kristi and I and our sister Kara and my 2 daughters and our niece Mia and our dear cousin Amy flew in and met us there. So we had quite the adventure. Flying turned out just fine for me, except for that we have learned without any doubt whatsoever that I am an wheelchair girly at the airport. There's no question about it.
Facts. Yes.
Yep. Has to be the case. In fact, my legs just blew up like nobody's business when we got off the airplane. I mean, they're already blown up, but this was much worse, and I really struggled to walk on this trip. So, but we did have lots of good help. We actually ordered a wheelchair. Kristi did when we were just into town. We were at Pike Place Market, and they never delivered it. So, but the aquarium did have a wheelchair, and I was able to get a wheelchair always in the airport. So that helped a lot. And you know what? It worked out okay.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a few things to share from our trip. I have a slideshow. I'm going to say this. We were really glad to be able to meet the animals that we did. We were there to get to have an experience with capybaras and with otters. And that was amazing. However, the facility was straight out of hell. And the employees there were very, very sweet and were trying really hard. But
just very young place, and just doing the best they could. Doing the best they could with their skills. Whoever owns that place and is responsible for that place, however.
That was a hellscape.
I'd like to have some words with them.
Yeah. So, going to say that straight out of the gate. Hey, Justin. And everyone else. So that, we couldn't, I should have done more homework. I'll just say that. But at any rate, still going to share with you some of our experiences. So,
how long are you visiting here?
Here are the cappies. This is Dude.
So a weekend trip.
Yeah, just a weekend trip. Yeah,
he's very handsome.
That's so nice.
So handsome.
That's still nice, though.
That's what you are. You actually like to take those teeth up there and bonk you on the knee and say, hey.
Yeah, like, hey, lady, you're supposed to be feeding me still, remember?
Here you go. Your mouth is so interesting.
You are so nice.
So since they are rodents,
Not my shirt.
they have 4 big giant teeth that never stop growing.
So, was I baby talking to the capybara? Of course I was. Is there any other way to speak to them? They were so damn cute and funny. And the capybaras were easily the happiest animals at this facility. But
yes, they really were quite unbothered by life. They were.
See,
the bump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that male indicator? Or?
That is a That is an oil gland. It produces a type
That's
of
me
oil
feeding baby.
that also produces a smell that only animals can smell.
Listen, I don't have any.
Okay. Kind of
They rub it on pretty
pheromone
much.
thing.
Yeah. They pretty much use it to mark their territory. Females have it
Baby was literally climbing Kristi like a ladder to get more
Yes.
treats from her.
She chewed holes in my shirt because I was not feeding her quickly enough. She got her front paws up on my shoulders a couple of times. They weigh 140 pounds, guys.
Yeah.
And we were sitting on little tiny like preschool children's chairs. So baby about took me clear over several times. She was so cute and funny. And she was making these little clicking and tweeting kinds of sounds similar to a guinea pig.
I felt like she was really trying to get in your purse to go home with you.
She was, yes. She, particularly if I had had more food, she would have followed me anywhere. That girl was
and when you
hungry.
didn't have food, she was banging those top teeth on our sister's knee over and over again.
Thonk her teeth on Kara's knee to feed her.
Yes. Not biting, but they were wild. But the capybaras were so awesome. So I'll pull up a little slideshow too. This is our whole crew down at the harbor. And a few more pics of feeding the cappies. Now here's the otter. The otter's name was Pearl. She loved Matea like nobody's business. The only way I even really got to pet and love on Pearl was in Matea's lap because she spent our entire visit right there. Though she did get down and try and go up her pant legs a couple of times. She tried to go down the front of her shirt over and over. She loved Matea. She laid on her back and wiggled and wiggled and wiggled and had her belly rubbed forever. And oh my God, she was adorable. Absolutely precious. But yes,
so cute.
She wanted nothing to do with me. This was Matea all day long. She was just so cute.
Matea was displeased with all of the otter smell on her pants. By the way.
She was. They smell like ferrets. So we both smelled pretty musky from her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is this is from the incident with the donkey. That they had a donkey named Jill. And I have to preface what happened with Jill with it was my fault. Apparently, we had been given instructions not to feed Jill, but when the instructions started, my brain went elsewhere. I didn't really hear that. So I was just feeding Jill because she wanted to be fed.
Well, she was going to bite something.
Then I turned my back on Jill and she bit me on the back of the arm. So I'm rocking some real good paint from Jill, but it's okay. It was my own fault. No shade, Jill. Actually, we laughed really hard about it, but that happened.
It was pretty funny, yeah. But she was so cute. You know how cute donkeys are. She was. So cute,
she was precious. I love donkeys almost as much as I love otters. So frankly, Jill could have kicked me in the face, and I would still love her. So it's fine.
Well, and apparently, some of the rest of our party had been told by an employee that it is not if you get bit by Jill, it is when you get bit by Jill.
I'm going to say probably Jill's not a good candidate for a petting zoo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because she likes to bite. You know what? It has bloomed out a lot. I just bruise really easily. It wasn't nearly as bad as it looks. It just looks heinous because of the way I take a bruise. But it only hurt for a second. Hurt my feelings and my pride. Yeah. This was it was my own fault. Sorry about it, Jill. But I'm glad you got some of that lettuce. I am. All right. So then we took the ferry. We took the ferry with some wonderful advice from our sweet listener who we also had lunch with. And she told us to go drive to Bremerton because the girls just wanted to go out on the water. And so she said, drive to Bremerton, get on the ferry, take it to Seattle, and then just turn around and take it back. And then there's a really nice restaurant called Anthony's right there on the harbor in Bremerton. So that's what we did. But the girls were like on the deck here doing like, what young girls do, like not young girls, but young women, you know, like doing all of these posing and taking pictures and stuff. And so we got in on the action. We put on a show.
We did. Oh, yeah.
You were working it. This one,
Oh,
the
I caught
jump.
some air, friends. I was very proud of myself for this. I had a decent jump out of that.
Kara, working it.
Kara. Yeah, yeah.
So that's a little of our trip. We had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. Yeah, our house, our Airbnb was beautiful. Like we did fine. It was great, but we're all still trying to catch our breath and, you know,
Very much. Yeah.
get it together. But
Yeah.
while we were gone, we missed something big, and that was the Lori Vallow restitution hearing. So we're gonna live react to it with you guys right now. So let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
I did ride the plane. Yep, I did just fine on the plane. I did get frisked both times, but it is what it is.
Some people are just lucky, I guess.
Some people need a 4 a.m. thrill, apparently. So here we are.
See. Yes, now I can hear you.
All right, this is the time set for a settlement conference in CR, I don't know why I said a settlement conference. This is the time set for a status conference in CR 2021-001704 and CR 2022-001242. Let's get appearances, please. We'll start from the state.
Kristi on behalf of the state.
And Ms. Daybell, can you state your full name?
Yes, Lori Daybell for the defense.
All right, thank you. This is, as I said, a time set for status conferences. Is there any resolution regarding the restitution requests?
Judge, I've not had any contact with Ms. Daybell, so we had provided her with the documentation for Kay Woodcock in the amount of $8,949.52 prior to, or at the time of the sentencing. So I'm not sure if she'll stipulate to that.
That was the only request so far?
So far, the request for Brandon Boudreau at this time, he's still trying to get that together. So we would just ask that remain open. And when we have those documents, we'll provide them to Ms. Daybell and then set a hearing so we can see if she'll stipulate or not.
All right, so I'll turn to Ms. Daybell. What's your position on the restitution request?
Because I haven't received anything from Mr. Boudreau, also, the documents I have received from Ms. Kay are insufficient on their face. The defense is requesting that the state would give the defense an accounting of the stipulation that has already been given to the victims in these cases by the state so that we can accurately review the receipts that have been given to us, and then we'll be able to go from that point.
Oh boy, here we go.
Insufficient on its face.
Listen.
What, Lori?
Just because you played an attorney on TV doesn't mean you are one. And also accurately review. Oh, so yeah, I mean, we all know. Also, I'm so thrilled that they're making her use her legal name at the jury or at the jail or wherever or at the prison where she's being housed. El
Right.
Vallow, because we all know her last name is not Daybell. So,
Yep.
Good.
Judge, I actually have no idea what Ms. Daybell just said. She was provided with copies of all of the receipts as well as an accounting on an Excel spreadsheet. So if she doesn't agree to that, then we would need to set a hearing.
All right, is there something?
What I'm asking for is for the state to also give what they have already reimbursed the victims as witnesses when they came. It's very confusing, the receipts that we have received, what they were already reimbursed for. So in order to have a hearing, I would need those disclosed to the defense as soon as possible.
All right, I haven't seen any of these documents. Is the defendant talking about there's some things that are is the county attorney's office seeking restitution from their victim compensation fund?
We did not provide a request for that, no.
Okay, so I guess what if the victim, if Kay Woodcock is requesting certain amounts of money that she spent, and no one's requesting money that the victim's compensation fund may have given to her, why would that be relevant for restitution hearing? I'm asking you, Ms. Vallow.
Oh, you're asking me?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
If no one's requesting reimbursement for money that the Maricopa County Attorney's Office Victim Compensation Fund gave any witnesses or anything, that's not something that we're talking about for a restitution hearing.
well, that's what the defense doesn't know. The defense doesn't know what's been compensated and what hasn't been compensated. So on some of the actual receipts, there are saying 3 victims stayed at this hotel room or 3 next of kin stayed at this hotel room. So is Ms. K asking for those things to be reimbursed to her and she's going to cut everybody a check, or how is that supposed to work? So I'm asking for some clarification on what has been compensated, what hasn't been compensated, and what she's actually asking for.
Okay, I think I need to just set it for a hearing, and those are questions you can ask. She would need to testify, I would suppose, for any money that she expended. So can we do a virtual restitution hearing?
Read, Your Honor, I've already given Kay Woodcock $1 million.
Correct. I'm sure she thinks she has fully reimbursed her.
And it shows here that she got a large Whopper meal, and I think she could have gone by with a medium. Yep.
Right.
I mean, that's the level of petty this is going to try to get to.
Yes.
Hearing Friday, October 3rd at 9:30 a.m., 2 weeks from today.
Judge, I'm not sure. Hay is not on the line right now, so I would have to check with her after this. I do have something in the morning until about 11 o'clock, so I am free in the afternoon if Kay Woodcock is.
Is there, since we have everyone here now, is there a way we could recess for a couple minutes and you could check?
We can attempt to reach her.
Or yeah, I could do also October 3rd at 1 p.m.
So for me, 1 p.m. would work. I mean, we could set it then. We can reach out to Kay, and if it doesn't work, we can let the court know. I mean, obviously, it's more difficult with Ms. Daybell, not easily reached, but I'm not sure how else to do that.
And again, I would expect everyone just to appear virtually. The state would need to mark. I think the easiest way to do it is any receipts or documentation that you want me to consider would need to be marked just as one packet and a copy sent to Ms. Vallow. Let's do an alternative just in case that witness isn't available. So first choice will be the 3rd at 1 p.m. Second choice, how about the 10th, October 10th at 9:30 a.m.?
That works for the state as well.
All right, so we're going to assume that it's October 3rd at 1 p.m. unless we hear otherwise by Monday. If we do hear something, we'll cut another minute entry so that everyone's on notice that it'll be the 10th at 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Okay.
if those documents could be emailed to our paralegal here at PWCC, her name is Rachel Cheney. I wasn't going to say your first name, Miss Cheney. Then that could be expedited. So I could get that as soon as possible.
They are the same documents we previously disclosed. We can re-email them if maybe Mr. Abernathy can send us the email, but they're the exact same documents we previously disclosed.
And I'm going to need them again for review. I wasn't able to bring those with me.
I, out of an abundance of caution, I would just ask you to send another copy in the exact, order that you would be presenting it as an exhibit. So when we're referring to it virtually, everyone's literally on the same page at the same time. So Mr. Abernathy, are you willing to accept that email and get it forwarded to Ms. Daybell?
Yes, Judge. I currently have no contact information from Ms. Daybell. Obviously, this case is on appeal, and we have an appeal attorney assigned to it. I think he's in the process of trying to establish direct communications with Ms. Daybell, but I'm not sure if that's actually been accomplished at this point. Obviously, we would need like a legal privileged line to be set up. So I haven't had a word on that. So I'm not sure. I mean, October 3rd is coming up pretty soon. That might be a little premature. I also don't know how we can do a virtual hearing with advisory council. I don't have any way to communicate directly with Ms. Daybell. That's going to be privileged.
Okay. Well, you're advisory council, so you don't take an active role. Ms. Daybell.
Okay. That was shade. Thank you, Judge Bresky.
That was great shade. I just still cannot. I love that in Lori's Zoom window it says L. Vallow unverified. Is there ever been a
That
better way
seems
to
right.
refer to her?
That's correct. Yes.
And I mean, I know why it says what it says, but anyway, I just think it's
Would only be greater if somebody accidentally put an F in there. LF Vallow. That would have made my
Yes.
whole day, but that's okay.
Yes,
That's
it would.
okay.
Sorry, Judge, I could take an active role if Ms. Daybell has a question in the middle of this hearing, then we're not going to be able to talk and we're going to have to reset the hearing. So we're going to have to establish some way that she can communicate with me directly in order to not have to reset this in the middle of the hearing.
Judge, maybe
Okay.
to ensure that, I'm sorry, Judge.
Go ahead.
I was thinking to ensure that Ms. Daybell has time to speak with her advisory council and that they are able to set up a way to communicate prior to the hearing so that they can discuss that. As much as I don't want to push it back, I think it might be better if we allowed them some time to discuss the hearing and whether or not she needs to stipulate to anything. As we've indicated, there is no victim compensation that's been paid out. It's just the documents that exist. So maybe they can go over those with her and lessen the time of whatever this hearing is about.
Well, I guess I'm a little frustrated that Ms. Daybell, the defendants had this information for 2 months and there have been no conversations apparently or contact.
And
So
Judge, just to avoid some frustration with the court, there were contact, or there were conversations, but since Ms. Daybell has been transported back to Idaho, that communication has ceased. So at this point, I haven't been able to communicate her currently as to what the status of any of this is. I know based on previous conversations, there are some issues that we need to address, and I do need to talk to Ms. Daybell about regarding the actual documents that were sent. I am happy to basically send a copy of those. I mean, I'm happy to do that if Ms. K will send those to me. It sounds like they're the same ones. So I will forward those to Ms. Daybell in Idaho so she can review those. Sounds like she didn't get to transport those with her.
okay, so that's fine. We'll do a little more time to make sure that documentation gets forwarded in the format that we would anticipate it to be marked as an exhibit. So let's do. All right, is advisory council or Ms. K in trial the middle of October?
I'm not sure.
That's
I don't know.
sorry, that's at the prison.
I think what I'm asking is, does it need to be on should we just shoot for Fridays?
I think Fridays are probably better, Judge.
Okay, is 4 weeks enough? Friday, October 17, 1 p.m. Oh, wait, I've got a block. 1:30 p.m.
I'm sorry, Judge, I missed the date.
Friday, October 17 would be 4 weeks from today.
Okay, that's fine with me, Judge. If for some reason I can't establish contact with Ms. Daybell in that time frame or any reasonable time frame, I will let the court know.
And Judge, should we come up with any reason why Ms. Woodcock is not available, we'll also advise court.
I mean, how hard is it? He knows where she is. She's in the Pocatello Women's Prison. Make a phone call, dude.
Oh,
He acts
I'm
like
being
this is
told
going to
my
take forever.
Mm-hmm.
JA has the paralegal's email in Idaho that those documents can be forwarded to, and the courtroom assistant's gonna put it in the chat, Mr. Abernathy.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor,
So-
I also
Wow.
have, I'm sorry to interrupt. I also have all the information too. I've been dealing with the paralegal. I even have been talking to the warden,
Okay.
trying to get things set up for to be able to speak to Miss Daybell.
Okay,
Oh, well, Jeff, hold on. Okay.
all right.
Jeff, I think I can clear something up for you right now.
Mhm.
Her name is Miss Vallow. That's why. You're asking for the
Yes.
wrong person. They don't
If
even
you
know.
ask for Daybell, Idaho does not know who that is.
That's not
Lori
her
Daybell
legal
who?
name, Jeff. Yeah.
Yes.
Hope
They may
that
have
helps.
been nice about it in Arizona. Idaho, on the other hand, is like, fuck
No.
you.
We don't care who you want to be today. We just care what your legal name is, and that's what we do here. Yep.
Yeah.
Is it in the chat?
Yes.
Okay, it's in the chat. Copy that info down. Mr. White sounds like he has it. Unless there's some sort of settlement of the restitution issue, I'll expect to see everyone virtually October 17 at 1:30. Again, if that doesn't work for the state's witness, please let us know sooner rather than later.
Okay. And Judge, can I just email the document that we'll be using, the exhibit, to your clerk? Or I'm not sure who. Do you have a clerk there?
We're not going to know who the clerk's going to be until a few days before, but it will reach out to the parties, and in addition to the state, if the defense has an exhibit they want marked, we'll let you know who to send that to.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, since we're going to be having this 4 weeks, is it possible, I don't know if the state knows, but is it possible to have the receipts from Brandon so that we can, Mr. Boudreau, so that we can do that all at once?
That's not going to be completed in 4 weeks.
What the hell?
All right, so
Okay, Miss Ma'am. That smirk is really something from somebody who's in prison for 5 life sentences. Give me a
Right.
break.
Like, come on. Like, somehow you're superior to Brandon, ma'am?
Mhm.
God, she's an irritating human being.
Her smirky smugginess today is really something.
may have other restitution hearings in the future. I don't know. All right, we'll be at recess. We'll see everyone October 17, 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, bitch, bye. Holy moly.
Anything to prolong this and get more
Mhm.
attention.
And
right?
Shade
Anything.
K. And Shade K.
Yes.
I mean, anything she can
And
do to
Shade-
make things harder.
Well, I just love Prosecutor K so much because she's like, well, for whatever this hearing is about, you know, it's just a raft of bullshit, as it always is.
Mhm.
Just another reason to drag this out for Lori to feel superior only in her own mind.
Right. But also,
Ridiculous.
it's not as though Lori has any money. She doesn't. She has nothing.
She's got
So
nothing.
these are just invisible numbers we're arguing about because she doesn't have any money. And even if she did, the restitution of her first trial would be paid out first, and it's $150-some thousand.
Yes, it's
And then
much
these
larger.
guys would be getting in line. So I know it's a part of the legal process and they have to do it, and I totally understand all of that. But why she's being a bitch about anything is insane because these are just invisible numbers at this point.
It's because she is insane.
Mm-hmm.
She is unverified, as in her grasp upon reality is unverified.
Uh-huh.
That was a perfect descriptor of her, even though it wasn't meant to be. I love it.
Yeah, totally. So there's that. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Apparently in 4 weeks, we'll go through this again.
Right, exactly, Joelle. She is just doing this to be a pain in the ass and to get more attention. Be special on camera, friends.
Yeah.
And get to pretend she's an attorney some more.
Kristi asked an important question. We had talked on the show last Friday or Thursday that we received an email that we were supposed to wear thick or woolen pants so we didn't get bit by the otters. And we were confused by that and wondered who in the world wears woolen pants.
Well, what is this we business? This is you business.
As it turns out, I'm just a dumbass. That said work pants. It never said woolen pants.
Remember when I was like, who? Woolen pants? Are we going to Antarctica? Why? Who has woolen pants? Where do you get woolen pants? That's 'cause it's work pants, guys.
It's work pants.
Work pants.
It was always work pants. So that's all. Now, also, something else that has happened. We talked last week about the trial of Joshua Hubert, and that jury has come back. So tell us what happened.
Well, let's talk about it. So Joshua Hubert, of course, is the man who was on trial for kidnapping, sexually assaulting, strangling, and throwing a 7-year-old child into a lake. This was in 2017. That young girl miraculously survived, swam to shore, got help. This has been a strange trial. This trial has been postponed multiple times. Finally, they get to trial. They really have very little evidence against Joshua Hubert other than the statement of the victim, which was, I have no doubts of, to be perfectly honest. It was very powerful.
Yeah.
She knew exactly who had harmed her. But there were some questions around the evidence in relation to the sexual assault. The victim did not report the sexual assault until 2022. And she said that the reason she didn't report the sexual assault until that time is because she was such a young child. The time that this occurred, she didn't actually understand what had happened to her. So they added the rape charge on to kidnapping, strangulation, attempted drowning, sexual assault. If you recall, the big problem there is that the only DNA on her clothing was seminal DNA from her father.
Right.
And the prosecution worked very hard to try to come up with some very strange and frankly really gross reasons for why her father's seminal fluid was on her underwear, none of which included that he had sexually assaulted her. They were, trying to convince the jury that this was just an innocent cross-contamination sort of situation.
This was just bad housekeeping.
So the jury, one of the questions that the jury had before they came forward with a verdict was, do we have to find him? Do we have to have the same verdict on every count? Because there were kidnapping charges, there were rape charges, there's strangulation charges, drowning charges. And, the answer was no, they're all separate charges. And so the jury did come back with a mixed verdict. And that mixed verdict was that they convicted him on all counts except for the rape. We kind of talked about this last week, that we weren't going to be super surprised if that's what happened. Because how do you convict him on a sexual assault when there's literally exculpatory seminal evidence on her clothing? And that is exactly what happened. They convicted him of all counts except for the rape, which I hope that the victim is given good information with help to understand, which is that there's not doubt that what happened to her happened. What there isn't is evidence to convict on that. It's a very odd case because there was no actual forensic evidence connecting Joshua Hubert to the crime. The whole case revolved around the victim's statement. Which was very powerful, and very clearly the jury was not unsure in any way that this is the person who would commit this crime. So he will be sentenced on October 3rd. So, good thing now they're not doing that restitution hearing on October 3rd because his sentencing is on October 3rd. He's facing at maximum around 40 years, likely going to get less than that, simply because of when they start combining everything. It's likely it won't be that much, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 25 to 30 years. I've done as much background research on Joshua Hubert as I could to try to figure out, has this guy done anything before? As far as I can find, he is a first-time offender. That is another reason why I don't think that he will get the full weight of the sentence, is because he does not have a prior conviction. So we'll be watching out for that. I will say, his defense attorney made some interesting statements. Kevin Larson said, "I feel like I'm living in To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know how rational juries could look at the evidence and say that Joshua Hubert was guilty in this case." That was really a terrible reference. Makes me really uncomfortable for him to have said that. If you've all read To Kill a Mockingbird, the defendant was a black man accused of the sexual assault and murder of a white child.
Yeah.
And there were some real prosecutorial malfeasance in that case.
Right.
It's a very famous book. It's a very famous story. It is not the same thing as this case at all. I just think, are you sure that's what you want to stand on, buddy? So we'll see. Of course, he maintains his innocence and is going to appeal because that is what always happens. It's just simply how the legal system works.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was an interesting trial. I do find the outcome interesting. Yes, Kristi has read it. Lots of us have read it. A lot of us here in the U.S. had to read it in high school, at least if you're Gen X.
Yeah.
You did. It's a fabulous story. But I thought that this reference was not appropriate at all and really kind of skeezy. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of a sentence he gets. I'm grateful for this victim who is honestly an absolute hero for surviving what she has survived.
It's unthinkable. Yeah.
All through, waited this long for this man to finally even go to trial for this horrific crime that happened to her. And so very brave to get on the stand at 15 years old and tell her story right in front of his face, and handle it so well. Really, really just a powerful human being. I would be curious to see what she does with her life.
Yeah.
Very positive. I think very positive outcome for her. And I hope over time it is something that she will grow from beautifully, because it was a tremendously traumatic experience.
Yeah.
But it seems like she's had the support that she needed. And that's what I always want to see for victims. And we'll keep you posted when the sentencing comes up. I'm curious to see what the judge decides to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, remember this gross bitch right here? The picture we can all smell? Yes, this is Nicholas Rossi, Aliverdian, Jingleheimer Schmidt. And while the second rape trial in Utah marches on, practically no one's covering it. So I have very little to share with you about it, except for that, when the witness took the stand, basically how her story comes out is that while she did go to the police and she did have a rape kit, as the police described it, she just didn't act like a typical victim. And some of her story changed over time. And so for that reason, they decided not to charge Nick. Then, 20 years down the road, the rape kit came back all covered in his DNA. And they went, oh, yeah, this guy should have been charged. Cool. Yeah. Super cool, guys, because he's gone on to rape several people since then. So sorry that she didn't act like a typical victim.
Yeah,
but
it's disgusting. Utah, you couldn't get worse. Utah is so far down on. Utah is down at the very bottom of the legal system in my mind right now for many reasons, and this is definitely a big one of them.
100%. Nick, they are expected to do closing arguments and head into deliberation tomorrow. So I would imagine we have a verdict by Wednesday or Thursday. The other case was the one that I was a little worried about. This one I think is rock solid. They have DNA. The victim is very, very confident. She testified in the other case and was extremely well spoken. Not really worried about it. I think we'll get that conviction, no problem, or they'll get that conviction. But we'll keep you, we'll keep you abreast. I really wanted to get the openings and closings, but if they're on the interwebs, I sure can't find them. So,
well, I mean, if this person is a sexual predator, then Utah will definitely be protecting all of their information.
Right.
As we
For sure,
know.
yes. Irene said a suspect was brought in for fingerprints today, and he had horrible BO. I stepped into the lobby and said, "What in the Nicholas Aliverdian smell is that?" Yeah. Oh, Jay Justin, you've mentioned Robin Lee Rowe a couple of times. Yeah. So we've talked about Robin Lee Rowe on the show quite a few times, but she is the only woman on death row in Idaho. She's been on death row for more than 3 decades. There was recently, and we haven't even talked about it yet, but there was recently some legal action on her behalf trying to get the death penalty pulled from her sentence, and it was unsuccessful. So she continues to sit on death row. Idaho has never executed a woman.
No, and they're not going to.
I don't think so either.
Idaho is doing a lot of flexing its death penalty muscles lately, particularly after the failure to execute Thomas Creech last year. It just feels like, and all of the things with Gerald Pizzuto as well. I don't know if this is just an attempt to look tough.
Yes.
I don't know. I genuinely don't. I don't know what's happening here other than it's just pathetic.
Well, now they're investing so much money into the execution chamber to do firing squads. And that had Brian Kohlberger's name on it.
Right.
And alas, he took a plea. So no death penalty for Brian. And I think a lot of the legislators who thought they were going to be able to, give that one a whirl with Brian on it were pretty pissed off. So I don't really know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. There's been
Daybell won't even be a candidate for many more years.
No, Daybell won't be a candidate for at least 2 decades. And many of these other people have been on death row for 40 plus years. And suddenly Idaho thinks maybe they want to kill them. I don't know. Idaho and the death penalty is an unbelievable shitstorm. But I absolutely do not believe that the state will actually execute Robin Lee Rowe. I don't.
I don't either, but I thought it was interesting that they made an attempt to get the death penalty removed, making me think that maybe her counsel does think that.
Maybe. I don't know. It's not like there have been a lot of expired death warrants for Robin Lee Rowe. There haven't been.
There haven't been any. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Right. Daybell will likely die in prison of natural causes. Agree. Yeah, I'll bet he does before they ever actually execute.
Given Idaho's track record on the death penalty, definitely.
And Chad's age in going in? Yeah.
Yeah. He's in his early 50s, and he's still got easily
mid-50s,
20
I
years.
think. Yeah.
Is it mid? Yeah.
Well,
he'd be 75 before all of his appeals would even be exhausted. So it seems very unlikely to me.
Well, with Chad, it's hard to calculate because he lived on a solid diet of Hot Pockets for 3 straight years, which removed quite a few years. We don't know exactly how many.
I would imagine, yes, being in the Fremont County Jail for that long probably does shorten your life by quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, Robin Lee Rowe is your ex-aunt? Interesting. We had somebody comment on one of our stories a while back about Robin Lee Rowe, which we haven't done like a whole video about her in several years, but we had someone comment that said that she was in prison with Robin. And now we get comments like this sometimes and you're never sure. Like, is this person just crazy and full of shit? Or are they telling us the truth? Because that's actually really interesting to note. But she said that what we said about Robin Lee Rowe's story, which we just reported what's been reported, is totally different than what Robin says happened. Well, okay, sure.
Well, no
for
shit.
sure.
Yeah.
But so I'm curious then, Justin, do you think that how she was convicted, the stories that's been told about her crimes. Does your family believe those things to be true, or do you think that there was that it's not really what it looked like? I'm just curious to know. No shade at all. Just it's a super old case.
It is. Have we heard anything about Chad's Twitter? Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. I mean, you can go find it. It's called Chad's Letters on X or Twitter.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
want
she
to
said
go read
any.
it.
Oh yeah. Yes. Any more news on it? Nah, we're mostly ignoring it because
It's disgusting. She's giving him a platform specifically because she wants his message to get out there. That message getting out there is the last thing that we need on this planet.
So Justin's mom lost her brother in that fire. I'm so sorry.
I'm
So I guess
sorry,
my question,
that's
Justin,
terrible.
is did your family hope that the death penalty gets carried out? Are you happy with her just staying in prison? What's your family's platform, or do you have one? I guess. I'm always curious about this. Some victims' families. There's a case right now going on. I can't remember which state it was. I looked at this morning. That someone is set for. They have a death warrant, and the victim's daughter has pled with the governor to drop the death penalty because she doesn't want that done in the name of her family. She says she just can't have it. Doesn't want it. She's actually written letters with the defendant. She tried to arrange a video call with them, and that was denied by the prison. It's a pretty interesting situation, but she's actually begging the courts not to. And honestly, no shade either way. When your families go through this kind of stuff, you have the right to have an opinion. But hers is that she really wants the state to drop the death penalty. I'll see if I can find that so I can give you better information by tomorrow night. Yeah. Oh, Justin just remembers what his grandma said. Okay. Wow. Well, super interesting. And I'm sorry for your family's loss. What a horrific situation that was. Yeah. And also, Robin Lee Rowe's been in prison for like 35 years. She can say whatever she wants right now. It really doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It is what it is. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Betsy says Guilty Words thinks Chad is directing his letters toward the people he knew before. Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to contact his followers. The people who believe him. That's what he's looking for. Yeah. And that's very scary. It's particularly scary for our community, considering that we live around those people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the last thing they need is more direction out of Chad Daybell.
Right.
From death row. Let's just not do that.
I just want to know if there's separate letters that are going directly to AVOW or...
Right? Yeah. Are there private letters? These are public. Are there other ones, being posted on private servers like how he was writing before he went to prison?
Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone's listening to him at all except for his daughter. And maybe some of his other kids, but I think in general the populace as a whole is like, Chad Daybell? Don't know him.
Publicly, yes. Privately? I don't know.
Right. I'm with you, Jules. I would not want or allow my kid to be in Emma's class. There's no way. There ain't no way. After listening to her on the stand, absolutely not. Yeah.
Definitely. Right. Chad thinking anyone is still listening is wild. Well, that is the delusion, man.
Hubris of Chad Daybell, isn't it?
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. Yeah. So it's a weird week since we weren't here yesterday. And so now we only have 2 more this week. Isn't it weird? But we'll be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for case updates. And there's lots of things going on. So we have plenty of things to share. So we'll be back 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Thursday at 3 p.m.
Yes, we will.
Any knowledge about Donna Adelson's most recent over loud jail calls? No, I'll have to go look it up. You know, we took 5 days in space, and so
we did. Yeah, we took a break. So
really, we're trying to catch up on a lot of things we missed. Yeah, yeah, and all the while, do the laundry and pet the dogs. So
yes, that as well. Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. Yeah. All righty, guys. Thanks for being here. Please take good care of yourselves, and as always, Thanks for being a part of the squad. This has been another production of the True Crime Squad. Thanks for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.